us?
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Whew. Holy jumping tuna fish.
Scary stuff,
what
man.
What the heck is going on?
Well, normally we would introduce our guests, not make them start.
Yeah. But thank you, Leah. You did such a great job. It's like, you know what you're doing in life. I love it. Any hoodle, we are going to get into this fairly quickly because now we wasted a bit of time trying to solve technology once more in the world. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Today is so great because we have our beautiful Leah Dyck with us. And I just want to tell a little story before we introduce her as well. And Carolyn's going to go through the regular rigmarole, as she would always say, as to what we're doing in this live. But we had met Leah, geez, I don't even know how many years ago, but she was coming to take our certification course. But the time that she came, I forget, it was like 2 or 3 other people. It was something where I don't know whether it was something where they could not come. So Leah was our only person. Now we're like, okay, well, you're supposed to be here. We're meant to be. Oh my goodness, this woman changed our lives because we had so many things, and she's a pro in master Reiki with horses, and she understands all the energy and all those great things that's happening, where we were just kind of getting and understanding there's something more. And I just remember I'd be running my programs and the horses would do things with the clients. And I'm like, I don't know what it means. I have no idea, but it felt so right that I always allowed the horse to do what they were doing. Then when Leah came, and Carolyn and I were both there then. Yeah, so you must have moved back from Leduc. Oh my gosh, like they are talking to us. They are specifically saying certain things in certain ways. So that's what actually opened up our whole window in our certification to that advanced level of horses literally are trying to tell your clients and us stuff. It's just now our job as professionals to understand how to bring that and connect that together and still allow that human who's going through your programs to be empowered by what it is that they also feel is going on as they're going through a program.
And I think I have to say with Leah too, Leah was the one who gave me the answers that I needed to believe this.
Right.
So as the skeptical person that I am, I needed the why, how, like the science behind it. And I don't think if it were for Leah, I would be at the same place I am with horses, or like even energetically, I think as a person, to understand those pieces of it. So we really do. We owe much to Leah.
We love Leah.
She's our go-to gal for so many things. So we are so grateful to have you here today. And we will do our regular old rigmarole, but we're doing this quick, folks. So the first thing we talk about is that hashtag Holy Jumpin' Tuna Fish, which you will hear today because you guys, your mind will be blown in one way or another. So we want to see those Holy Jumpin' Tuna Fishes in the comments for you, please. We also have the other hashtag of We Are Life Changers. And of course, we are not just talking about us. We are not just talking about our horses, but every single one of us around the globe who have the opportunity to change somebody's life for the better every single day we live and breathe through kindness.
Auctioneer, you got to take it down a notch.
No, it's exciting stuff.
Yes.
I do see lots of people commenting already as well. So make sure that you are putting in who you are, where you're from. We have Cherie on, Janet's on, Sarah's on, Danielle's on, Amanda's on. Who else did we have? Dodie, I saw on here too. Tanya. So yes, lots of people joining us from all over the place. So let us know who you are and where you're from so we can give you a shout out. And this will be some interactive pieces here too, people. So stay on and stay tuned so we can get your comments in as we go as well. And then if you don't know us yet, my name is Carolyn Charles. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing for the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning.
Hey everyone, my name is Carrie Fomek and I am the Master Instructor and founder of the Equine Connection. So helping people do what we do, and that's the greatest job on earth because we get to work with horses every day to be able to help humans go through programs that always have a result every single time humans roll through it.
That's right. And now without further ado, we'll introduce our lovely Leah here. So Leah is not only a beautiful human inside and out, but she humans and horses in a method of attunement, understanding, and exchange. Horses have profoundly enhanced her life, ensuring they are appreciated for their innate value, sentience, and the significance of their own culture through which they offer sacred interactions to humans is a driving force in her life. These interactions enhance human healing, self-growth, awareness, and quality of life for all involved, including happier, healthier horses. So welcome, Leah. And now we are caught up on time, so I feel like I can calm down.
There we go. We got the fireworks to start off this whole beautiful live. Incredible. You're going to learn so much, people.
Oh, and I love we've got Ruthie on from Texas. We got Lisa Davey on from Ontario. Jolene from Arizona. We've got Penny as well from Medicine Hat. Sherry Lee is around here. Did I say Tracy from Oklahoma? I think I might have.
We Julie have a load of people who are coming to hear what you got to give. And the best part is it's all real. It's evidence, it's research, it's real, people. It's real. And that's the biggest thing you got to take away. Okay.
So we'll hand it over to you. And do you want me to go straight over to your stuff here, Leah?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great. But first, I guess, thank you for those beautiful words. And my life was changed meeting you all as well. You actually were the ones that encouraged me to even develop a program in which I could share with other people who are interested in learning. So that opened all the doors for me, and you continue to open doors. And I'm just grateful to collaborate with you and just be in this time of life with you.
Aw, thank you.
So I'd love to welcome, I forget there's a delay. So I wanted to just welcome everyone. And as Carolyn was reading some of the people that are here, some of you I recognize and we're already connected. Welcome to everyone. I'd love to connect with those of you I haven't personally connected with. So let's go through this and then I can give you some details on how we can maybe do that. I'd like to welcome you to this invitation to deeper partnership with your horse. This is part of the Equus Attuned pathway. So today we can go to the next slide. Today we're going to talk about the highlights from level 1, which is Equus Empowered. Really their resources for increased understanding and communication and partnership with your horse. Go ahead and do you want me to tell you every time? Next slide. How about I do this? Okay.
That I was trying, it just wasn't quite the click I needed to make.
I'll do this. I already had a bit of an introduction, but I thought I would just give you a little bit more about me. Really, my goal is to be attuned to horse culture, and that is to be of service to both value the intrinsic character and the sentience of horses. And I am driven to be of service to them and their human counterparts. I am certified EAL with Equine Connection. I am a Reiki master and also a generational and lifetime horse person. There's never been a day in my life without horses. They have been my greatest mentors and guides. I also really believe in empowering people in spirit, mind, and body. Connection is very important to me, as is attunement. And also the recognition of this interconnectivity of all things. So I have some experience in many avenues of the horse industry, from show jumping to trail riding to learning some reining. I'm just starting a liberty and bridleless journey now. I'd like to be able to do everything bridleless going forward, and that's based on relationship and consent and autonomy with my horse. I did breed upper level show jumping in veterinary hospital, and that all kind of came together to form a special. Is there a lag again?
One sec. So yeah, there was a bit of a lag there, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's just us that's missing a bit of it. Is everybody else hearing Leah okay, or is it crackling for you guys too? If you can just let us know in the comments. We got lots of people on. It's good stuff. We're waiting. Because if it's just us, then that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
We can figure it out. We'll lip read. It's a little spotty, Tanya says. Okay, so it is lagging. So I think we might have a bit of a lag on it, but if it starts going out, I'll just put up my hand like that so you know, just to give it a beat. And then that way, if you give it a beat, it might catch up, and we'll just do our best with what we got here in the life of technology.
And if worse comes to
Sounds
do it again.
Yeah. Okay.
good. Okay. So also with a decade long,
yeah, with
my mom's holistic health sent me. Okay.
This is not a good one.
Okay, Leah, you're skipped out again.
Sure, gave me up.
Okay.
Can we just tell everybody to go back on to
Leah, are you on your, do you have your
Facebook?
phone beside you? Yeah. Do you want to, can you call Carrie's phone and then mute yours?
Oh, let me turn it on. Hang on.
We're going to go about this a different way. Because where there's a will, there's a way, damn it.
Yeah, because I think even this recording is nothing, so we should just do it live on Facebook.
Then we won't have a recording.
Oh, it doesn't record it live on Facebook?
Kind of it does, but then...
Oh. Well, that's news to me.
It'll go away.
Well,
okay.
We can download it.
All right. You want to try calling for a second?
Stay with us, everyone. We're trying to make this work.
Is it working?
She's calling.
What's happening? Okay, we'll call you. Went to voicemail. All right.
You know, this is a real learning experience right now. And I do have to say, for any of you who ever have problems like this, you see there's nothing you can do about it except try to solve it. So you never have to get in a frenzy or frustrated.
Nope. Okay, so Leah, you probably want to turn off your computer sound too, so we don't have reverberation. And then when you talk in here, hopefully people can hear you.
Okay, let's see. Is that any better?
I think so. Can you guys hear her in the computer land?
I'll keep talking for you for a minute or two. Is that any better?
That sure sounds better here.
Okay.
Just waiting to see on the comments if people can hear you.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, we're just getting new people. We need to know if the sound is good, my friends.
Okay. My daughter is currently texting me, giving me updates also.
Yeah.
So let's see. She says you can hear about 80% and then randomly for a couple of seconds and the sound cuts out and then comes back.
Now it's good. Everybody's saying yes. Everyone's saying this is good.
This is how we're doing it then.
This was smart. Good troubleshooting.
She's a smart one.
Okay.
That's why she gets paid the big bucks, man.
Yep. Slips even match with words. Okay. So we're winning now.
Okay. Well, let's skip past this intro. Hi, I'm Leah. Love to meet you all. You probably read it, so we'll just keep going if you can do the next slide for me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this is really what we're going to focus on today, on just sort of the tip of the iceberg. So horses facilitate wellness and a sacred balance through a method of guidance and exchange that allows us to observe and shift. So we shift and the horses assist us in the shift. Our own vibrational, spiritual, physiological, and emotional reactions. Now, for those of you certified with Equine Connection, you're going to recognize this is a bit of a building block format. It's the same model, so just trust that it's a process that's leading somewhere in our chat today. So let's begin. Next slide. And this is how I recommend that we start every interaction with our horses, really every interaction, but especially the ones that we are going to be doing this intentional allowing and openness with them. So we're going to start with some breathing exercises. So you're all probably already sitting. Get comfortable, close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. I'll walk us through what we're going to do and then we'll do it. So we're going to breathe through our nose. As you breathe through your nose, you're going to press your belly out You're going to breathe in all the positive, wonderful, loving things in the world. And then you're going to breathe out audibly through your mouth. Release anything that no longer serves you and just let it all go. So we're going to do this 3 times, and I'm going to walk us through. We'll start with the first breath. So go ahead and breathe in deeply through your nose, press your belly out, fill the bottom of your lungs, and breathing in all the positive, wonderful things in the world. Now you're going to breathe out through your mouth and release anything that no longer serves you. Just let it go. And we're going to breathe in again, bringing in all the wonderful, incredible things that the universe offers. And breathe out, releasing anything that no longer serves. Last breath in, push your belly way out as you breathe in. Take in through the top of your head beautiful things, and then breathe out, pressing your belly in and letting it go. Lovely. The next one we're going to do is the next slide, and we're going to do a grounding breath. So we're going to breathe in the same way, pressing our belly out and all the positivity in the world coming into us. This time when we breathe out, we're going to breathe out through our nose, and you're going to press your belly in. And as you breathe out, imagine sending roots way deep, wide down into the earth. Start to feel yourself from your seat bones and your feet getting really heavy and deeply connected to the ground. So I'll walk us through this breath. So go ahead and breathe in through your nose, press your belly out. All those positive, powerful things coming into you. And now you're going to breathe out through your nose, press your belly in, and send those roots deep and wide into the dark earth. Take another deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs, and breathe out through your nose, pressing into the ground, feeling heavy and deeply connected. One last breath in and out again through your nose. Those roots are now firmly anchored. All right, and when you're ready, come back and we'll go to the next slide. Now that our nervous system is regulated through those cleansing and grounding breaths, we're going to go into a little, just tiny bit of an introduction to energy and the associated theories. And I say scientific theories because science is really about hypothesis. So we're proving or disproving hypothesis. It can change. So this is just what we know right now. And it was adapted with a very good friend of mine, Dr. Jody Santa Rosa, who is also a veterinarian. Next slide. So energy simply is, we all learned this in junior high. Tell me if you remember it. The first law of thermodynamics, which tells us that energy cannot be created or destroyed. However, it can be transformed. So all of the energy that has ever been in the earth will always be here, has always been here. We can transform it, transmute it, use it in different ways. And the horses are exceptional at that. Go ahead to the next slide. Again, this is junior high stuff. Einstein's theory of special relativity, which tells us that energy equals mass multiplied by the speed of light squared. What does that mean, ultimately? Really, it means that mass and energy are the same entity, and they can be changed into each other. So in other words, all matter is energy, vibrating at different speeds and spaces. Next slide. So some of that energy we can see as frequencies. And frequencies are detected within the limits of our 5 senses. So our sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste. So as a result, we're limited. We actually can only detect a fraction of the available vibrations. And science tells us that there are frequencies infinitely beyond what we are currently perceiving. For example, human hearing is between 20 and 20,000 hertz. If we compare that to dolphin and bats, who are way up at 160,000 hertz, so their hearing frequency is much higher than we hear, compared to whales who are subsonic at 7. So they're, again, hearing things that we are not perceiving, although often we can feel them, but we're not always hearing them. As a side note, horses hear a little bit lower and a little bit higher than we do as humans. Human sight is 20/20. Eagles, for example, has a 25 vision. So they can see much more in depth, much farther, way more detail. If we have a quick look at the electromagnetic spectrum chart there, that little tiny arrow with the rainbow is showing us that's the only amount of frequency that our human eyes can detect. But way on the left, we can see radio waves. Way on the right, there are gamma waves. So we know there's frequencies that we aren't always seeing or hearing.
That's getting
Go
some
ahead.
holy jumping tuna fishes right there.
Yay.
And some wows.
Awesome. So then we're getting into the biomagnetic field, and following the laws of science, there are some laws. Our bodies are made of energy, vibrating at a particular frequency. We have our own measurable biomagnetic field. And like all energy, that can be manipulated and channeled. Horses also have a biomagnetic field. Every being does. So research is really gaining speed in the electromagnetic field, as well as the pathways for which this energy is transferred within the body. Next slide.
Ooh. So prepared.
This brings us to fascia and transfer of energy. So fascia is the lubricating gel-like connective tissue. And ultimately what it does is allows our organs and muscles to move against one another without creating friction. It provides a supportive framework way down to the cellular level, and it surrounds and separates everything within our body. Next slide. So within the fascia is the myofascial system. So this is a mesh of tube-like structures, and it's filled with a fine fluid. And because we know fascia is everywhere, this functions like an energetic superhighway throughout the body. The myofascial system carries tiny signals in the form of electrical impulses called biophotons. And these are very important elements as we talk going forward. They're said to be the smallest sparks of conscious energy, and they allow all cells to communicate with each other. Next slide. Biophotons are tiny. We have to magnify them 30,000 times to see them. But this energy is constantly moving throughout both our electromagnetic fields and our physical body in the form of light. And this light is everywhere, vibrating at different speeds and imperceptible to the limited capabilities of our basic five senses. So this is how we start to blend Eastern and Western medicine, because within us, the myofascial system has 7 major points where there's more fascia. That fascia correspond to the 7 main energy centers or chakras. So with the increase in fascia, there's more biophotons, which are those little conscious sparks of energy and create a larger energy hotspot. So all those fascia are directly in relation to where the chakras are. So let's talk a little bit about chakras and why do we care about them? Go ahead. Really, they're empowered interactions when we have these exchanges with our horses. So when we learn about the chakras, it gives us a much more clear indication as to why the horse might be focusing on specific areas of our bodies or our clients. And personally, this can allow for incredible self-insight and reflection, and we can facilitate these exchanges and that self-insight to our clients. For ourselves, when we take responsibility and initiate positive change and growth, it is very powerful for us and our clients. And the horses notice this, and it affects them positively as well. All of this starts to sort of piece together and result in a greater connection, partnership, and that deep understanding that so many of us want, and that attunement, being very tuned in to those interactions. Next slide. So chakras are derived from a Sanskrit word that translates to wheel or disc. That is a function as a vortex of spinning energy, and each chakra interacts with various physiological and neurological systems in our body. This relates back to the myofascial system with those energy hotspots containing more tubes, vibration energy, and the knowledge that energy is a circuit. If we even just think about grounding or we think about the electrical circuit, it always needs to complete a circuit. So we know there's 7 main chakras, starting at the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And again, each has a main function and correlation to physical, emotional, and spiritual health. So for those of you that are potentially new to the idea of chakras or to working with them, this is a great chart, and you can find other charts as well. But this one helps us to see some of the most important elements, which are the name, the placement of the chakra, the color, and most importantly, the main function. So if you want to screenshot this or take a picture, whatever works for you, this is something we will refer back to in these interactions with horses. Horses have the same chakras that humans do. All beings do. In fact, there are more chakras, but for the purposes of this program and our talk today, we focused on the 7 main ones. Horses run parallel rather than humans. We run perpendicular. That's about the only difference. So we know, and we'll talk about this, how horse culture uses energy. So now that we have a bit of an understanding of energy and that it is present in everything and everywhere, we can really start to see how horses interact with and positively transform and transmute it in their daily lives. We can also see why horses become unbalanced when they're unable to live in a normal and healthy equine social and physical environment. This is an important cue here because it's essential that horses are balanced themselves in order to be fully effective and healthy in the therapeutic type of partnerships that we ask of them. This is where their well-being becomes, well, it's always important, but where we can see it even more so. So horses are prey animals. We know that. Their main embodied focus is on safety. They are attuned to their environment and all the beings in it in order to stay safe. They work on and keep each herd member balanced. If one of those herd members is out of balance, they might attract some unwanted and unsafe predator attention. So horses balance each other as part of their culture, and they will offer the same to any being that is open to receiving, us as humans included. So we're going to go a little bit into chatting about mutual grooming. I call it mutual balancing, and we'll talk about why. As horse people, we are really familiar with this term. We've all seen horses scratching each other and bonding and interacting in this way. But the importance is to start to investigate a little further. So what is mutual grooming? So typically we'll observe that horses mutually groom in particular placements which actually correlate with chakra centers. In the chat, start to just give me a few places that you see horses mutually grooming or working on each other.
Let us know, people. And there's a lot of holy jumping tuna fishes and lots of hearts flying up all the time here too.
Ah, lovely.
Oh yeah, look at those hearts.
I know, look at all the pretty little hearts. All right, so where are you guys seeing it? They love the term natural. Well, Sarah does. Everybody loves it. Loves the term natural balancing. Janet says withers. Barbara says neck. Withers says Ruthie.
Beautiful. So withers, if we think back to our chakra chart, that is the heart chakra. Main function of heart chakra is love of self and others, so bonding. It's also healing. And that is one of the places we see them initially start. But they will work all of the chakras, as well as other associated energy meridians throughout the body. They will release blockages, increase energy flow, reduce energy flow, and really just help create alignment and balancing. Ultimately, this is mutual balancing.
Sorry to interrupt you, but that was something I've never heard before. They can reduce the energy?
Absolutely.
Wow.
So if there is an abundance, sometimes we'll get a hyperactive area, something really maybe inflamed, something like that. They will just smooth it out. They'll allow that energy to start flowing. Often they're working with the fascia.
Wow.
Certainly, yeah, they will release, they'll reduce, they'll do many things. This is just what we're focusing on for this particular element.
Nice, that's
Thank
cool.
you.
Like unkinking the hose.
Yeah.
All right.
So lots of people perceive it as horses being itchy. So what's that itch that can't be scratched? What is the science behind an itch? So again, Dr. Santa Rosa offered this definition. At its most basic level, an itch is the recognition of a sensory perception, usually of a slight disruption, imbalance, or stasis of energy. It can be related to a number of reasons, including physical restrictions within the fascia that affect energy flow. So really, if we start to think, who's that itchy at the same time in the same place? So it might present as an itch. Horses can get dermatitis. They can get bug bites, although I would encourage you to pay attention to where bugs might be landing on horses in terms of stasis or abundance of energy. That's another chat. Usually what they're doing when we see them working together, they're perceiving that a flow in energy in that area could be using some assistance, and they will work symbiotically for each other and themselves to move that energy in a way that is mutually beneficial. It can relate to physical and emotional, spiritual energy and the associated benefit.
That's getting you some more tuna fishes there. That's incredible.
So just a couple of examples here of what you might see horses working on each other in different areas. If you see on the top right corner where we've got the chakras aligned there, you'll see the gray mare is working on the little bay mare at the throat chakra. So main function of throat is communication both outwardly and inwardly. And then you'll see the little bay mare working at the heart chakra for the gray mare. And again, we discussed that is love of self and others, bonding, healing. So as we start to piece together what the horses are working on, you can start to see what's going on for this herd, what might be going on for these individuals or the beings around them. You'll start to see these interactions even more when you have clients coming. Horses often prepare themselves and their herd as well. Next slide. Those of you from F1 Connection might recognize these two amazing beings who have since transitioned, but they have been so powerful in many of our lives. That choked me up for just
me too. I was like, what she just talked about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful thing to transition into the energetic form, but those left behind, sometimes we miss them.
Sure
Anyways,
do.
so we see these two horses working chakras, but you'll also see the blue line drawn there where the palomino is actually working the bladder meridian. So these are a little bit kind of next steps, but just something for you to be aware of. Horses will also interact with energy meridians for specific reasons. Next slide. So this is really important. Once we start to observe how we feel when we see this behavior, it's useful to note that most people feel a sense of happiness or contentment or an awareness that there's something beneficial happening for the horses when we observe them working on each other. Importantly, even without conscious awareness, we are affected by the positive energetic work that horses do. There is a connectedness that all living things can access. And we access it even further when we become aware and begin to notice and work with it ourselves to great benefit. I wanted to point out that generally, the more you start to pay attention, you'll start to see maybe there's one or two horses that are actively participating in this type of behavior more than some others. And generally, those are the horses who these horses who balance others are the same ones who may reach out to humans in a similar manner, even more and more comfortably initially.
I love that you said that. We've got some comments too from people saying that they have had their stressed in the same way. So that's cool that you bring that in right now too.
Beautiful. And that's what we are going to get to. So type it in the comments right now. And Carolyn's going to let me know what you all are saying. But do you notice mutual balancing in your own herds? And importantly, mark down how you feel, how you've remembered what you felt in that moment. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to do that.
Type faster, people.
I'm thinking we're a little behind.
Tanya did put in that she has two horses that do this all the time. There is always a little bit of a lag too. But I know it's one of the most lovely things to see sometimes, right? When you look out and you see them doing that, and then there's maybe one that doesn't as much. You're like, oh, I wish they had a buddy. Tanya says all the time. So what do you guys feel with this too? Put that in as well.
So for example, when I asked this question, I've never had somebody say, oh, I hate it. I wish they'd stop that. There's always some type of positive association with it. And people often even video it and they'll post it, and they're maybe not fully aware of what's happening. And not to say that I fully am either. There's way more to learn. The more we learn, the more we know how much there is to learn. Mm-hmm. But what we do know right now is very profound and so important for horses.
Many people are saying relaxing, contentment, supportive for each other. It feels calm. So that tends to be the overall. Relaxing is a big one that everybody, deep calm, people have put in as well. Supportive. Nice. Yeah. Nobody's saying ick.
Right. So really, really important. Relaxing. If relaxing is the one that is standing out, then imagine how the horses are feeling. The horses will be feeling similar things that you're feeling, and you are benefiting from the interaction that they're having together. So we know we are in training with those same frequencies and resonating. Awesome. Thank you. Next one.
Go.
So I'm going to give you all a little homework. Screenshot this, take a picture, whatever you would like. Spend some time with your own horses this week. Just observe. Are they working on each other? What areas are they focusing on? Knowing what we've learned just a little bit about chakras, why do you think they might be focusing on these particular areas? So start to familiarize yourself with the main function of each chakra. Does this add up with any issues you've been seeing in your horses or your clients or even yourself? How did you feel as you observed? Next one. Watch also for how they ask permission to work on each other. You are going to see a respectful. Now, horses don't understand respect or disrespect. That's not really in their culture. That's a human word, and kind of the only one I could come up with to sort of give us some framework about what's happening. There'll be a slow approach, a soft eye, a gentle reaching out. You'll watch for them balancing each other. They work their muzzles and their teeth over specific areas. And they will also stand with particular energy centers aligned or in alignment with each other. So just start to note some of those things. So how to recognize when your horse is offering to work on you or your clients and why. We're going to chat about that. We're going to talk a little bit about collaborative offering versus uncomfortable contact. So we really begin to discover when a horse is offering to work on us in a similar manner that we'll work on each other, and asking to come into our space for this reason, as opposed to maybe a horse barging in and making uncomfortable contact. We're going to start to be particularly observant. Pay attention to what you feel in yourself, first and foremost. When horses are well balanced themselves, they will ask permission from both horses and us. They'll do so again respectfully. So that means acceptable herd behavior. Lowered head, soft eye. They will generally align themselves directly with us and gently reach out with their muzzle. So this is, you will know it's intentional because horses are prey animals. They typically do everything on a curve with their eyes on the side of their head. Straight on is much more predator behavior, but a horse will approach us straight on, especially when they are offering these intentional interactions. Feel if there's a push. If there's a push coming from the horse, that might not be that intentional interaction. So just start to pay attention to what they're doing and how you feel about it. And I will note, and you can see it in the picture here on the right, often the first place a horse will initiate contact in this modality is at the hands. That's one of the reasons we don't hand feed. That's a whole nother conversation because we don't want horses kind of muzzling us for treats. They're coming to your hands for a different reason. So in the human, the heart chakra and heart meridian extends from the chest, across the shoulders, down the arms, and into the hands. This is a respectful first offering of that heart connection. So it's really important also to understand why the horse is offering to work on us or our clients. It could be to increase a bond or connection. It also could be to assist with a physical symptom or to alleviate or cope with an emotion, or the emotional root cause for a physical manifestation. That's a little more in-depth conversation. I'll also note that heart math, many of you are going to be familiar with heart math, and I'd encourage you to continue to look into it. Module 4 of my program, we go quite deep into that, is really revealing the interconnectivity of all life on Earth, how everything is connected and matters. So by paying close attention to why and where the horse is offering to work on us or our clients, we can start to examine our own physiological and emotional responses and those of our clients. This gives us great personal insight and empowers toward increased well-being and balance. It also allows for the vibrational shifts to take place. Those horses are initiating vibrational shifts that are they can be subtle, not always, but often are subtle and very, very powerful. So in the pictures here, you actually can see the emotion in the woman that is receiving this interaction from Vixen, is the mare's name. And it is specifically at solar plexus. So if you're curious, have a look at the main function of solar plexus. That will give you some insight into what is happening in this particular picture and why there may be some emotional release.
There's people commenting as well saying this is so interesting. People are scared that they can't watch later because they just arrived to it at an appointment. But yes, you can watch later, everybody. And they're wondering if you have a book. So we'll have to talk about your course at the end as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So recognizing when your horse is offering to work on you and why, this is Equus empowered. This is why we do this work. Go ahead. Here's another little interaction for you. So have you sensed, any of you, that there was something more happening with your horse? Something to receive or to remember? So just briefly type your experience in the comments. Carolyn, if anything comes up that you can share with us, that would be great. We'll give you guys a couple of 20 seconds.
A couple of 20 seconds.
Type fast again, folks.
I love that.
While we're waiting for those comments, there are many, many comments in here about people kind of putting into place what you're saying as well, and how they're seeing how their horses do it with each other and how it gives them that beautiful feeling of breathing, and they smile and they can feel that peace from their horses even as they're doing the mutual grooming as well. So people are loving it so far, Leah.
Wonderful.
And we're just waiting on the other comments. You guys are 5 seconds left.
Well, everyone as well, if you're able to stay longer, I can kind of give us a little more time. I just didn't want to go too much over our hour allotment here.
I love, somebody just mentioned Michelle too. My horse truly saved my son's life. Barbara says yes, but unsure of what to do.
That's good.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's a big part of it too, is kind of like, you know something.
Yeah.
But you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? Till you do know.
Like Priscilla with Pepper always at her neck. Like, I'm like, I had no idea. Then it made logical sense later after you. It's like,
yeah. Well, let's touch on that just briefly for a minute, because the only thing you have to do is receive. So I always encourage people, make sure you've done your cleansing and grounding breaths. If you're sensing that your horse is approaching you for these intentions, just put your hands at your side, ground your feet into the ground, take your big deep breaths. And that is signal. And soften your abdomen. Those are signals to the horses that you are open to receiving. So often we want to kind of scratch them back or give back. And that's a beautiful thing. And feel free to do that after. But sometimes that will make the horse potentially kind of retreat back into themselves, especially if they're not yet sure that they're allowed to do this. So many times inadvertently, we shut horses down. Nope. You stay in your space. This is my space. No, you never put your muzzle on me. And all of those are important safety boundaries. But there's a big difference between a horse coming in with this gentle collaborative offering and a horse that's coming into your space for, maybe to try and move your feet, which we don't allow.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a couple comments as well with horses going and trying to eat their feet is one.
Great.
Which is kind of cool.
Okay.
And then I got run over in the dark and I have a hip replacement. So I was scared about injury. I was hurting my back. The next day, the horse that ran me over spent time at my hip and back, and I was receiving the healing energy and was very touching.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
And I think a lot of people are taking it to the feel like it's very connected for them, or their horse is affirming of their worthiness or wellness. And I think, are you trying to kind of find an action that they're doing at the same time to Leah? Is that what you're looking for?
Sure. Well, we actually can even just chat about the eating or nibbling at their feet.
Perfect.
So that's a powerful one and very common, especially in people that would be of service to them to ground themselves. So the root chakra and all of those grounding meridians extend down the legs and into the feet. Horses will often work at the feet. Well, there's a couple of things. Let's stick with this one. They'll work at the feet when it would be of service for that person to ground themselves. So there's something that maybe would be of service to them to release and allow to go back to the ground for renewal, or something related to root chakra, which is home, family, grounding, vital life force, safety. So I would encourage you, anyone that has interaction with horses in this way, with their feet, do your grounding breaths in that moment. Incorporate a really good grounding practice. Sometimes you might just need to sit actually on the ground. There are many grounding resources, and if you'd like to send me a message, I'm really happy to send you some. You can go on the contact page on my website. I'll give you all of that at the end here.
Nice. There's a great question here too. Does the age of the horse influence interactions? I have a 2-year-old who's insistent about using his muzzle on my face.
Okay, so there's kind of 3 things that stood out there. So in general, no. The age, horses, if they are in a herd and they are well balanced themselves, their age doesn't matter. If this is a horse that's separate or segregated, there could be something else. And I'm happy to kind of delve into that with anyone who'd like to figure that out. I have a few questions around it. Colts can be a little mouthier in general. Young horses in general can be a little mouthier. So there are definitely ways we can facilitate that and create some boundaries without shutting our horse down. But I would pay attention. If you've got a horse, any horse that is insistent about your face, I'd encourage you to look up the chakra in that area. I'd encourage you to look up meridians in that area and always look for the emotions attached. So, for example, if it's around the mouth, is there something to do with communication? If it's around the nose represents our sense of self also. So I'll give you some book resources coming up in the next few slides so you can look that up. If you feel like there is something intentional or there's a message in there, trust that. Trust that intuitive sense that you are getting.
Nice.
Yeah, that's hard.
I like that one.
Hard to trust intuitive.
He is settled well into her, not aggressive, very gentle. She says, thanks, I'll look into that.
Beautiful. And feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to facilitate that with you.
You're so nice, Leah.
She seriously is. And like, she literally means
Yeah,
it.
she does.
So do it.
Okay.
All right. So next one. Perfect. So the horse is already a master at intuitive sensing, sensory awareness, and processing. Once we hone our own intuition and we start to understand horse culture and behaviors even more, the communication between horse and human becomes a telepathic type of connection. This leads to that telepathic communication most of us want to have. We're always like, I wish he could just talk. I wish I just knew what he was saying. We really can begin to develop that deep level of communication. And our horses will help us when we allow them to balance us and interact with horse culture. They will work on crown, third eye, throat, many other things that will open those channels for us. So we're going to get back into a little bit of the kind of grounding scientific theories of this going forward. So horses will mirror behaviors. And I know mirror can be a bit of a contentious phrase in our industry. For this purpose, we're talking about mirror neurons, and we're going to get into that. So they will mirror behaviors and manifest physical symptoms for those they are linked to. So what are our partners, our equine partners, reflecting for us? How do we address those reflections for the benefit of us both. So there are scientific theories to support this, such as the Fibonacci sequence. That's a really neat one to look into if you haven't already. Concepts of entrainment and coherence, along with the existence of mirror neurons. And that's what we're going to talk about next. So a class of neuron that modulates their activity when an individual executes a specific motor act and when they observe the same or similar act performed by another individual. All animals, including humans, we are just human animals, have mirror neurons. It's, for example, how children, little babies, learn to smile. They see others around them smiling, their mirror neurons fire, and they begin to execute the same behavior. This type of brain cell is one that helps us recognize and empathize with emotion in other living things. It's known as resonance in interpersonal neurobiology. So in theory, horses have millions or billions more mirror neurons than people do. That makes them an expert at understanding nonverbal communication and enables them to empathize even more than people do.
Wow.
So with their highly sensitive limbic system, that's the area of the brain responsible for emotions, their smaller neocortex, the area of the brain responsible for analytical thought, and we combine that with their system of nonverbal communication. Horses are astute energy readers of their environment and every being in it. So they can act like a biofeedback mechanism, especially in their ability to detect human emotional states, all of those underlying emotional root causes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot to switch the slide. I was totally into what you were saying. Like, oh, right, I have a job.
So if you want to learn a little bit more about that in practicality, I would recommend these two books. The You Can Heal Your Life book, or You Can Heal Your Body book by Louise Hay, and also The Secret Language of Your Body by Anna Segal. That really gives us some further insight into why horses are interacting with a specific area of the body. So that's why I mentioned the nose or parts of the face in that previous comment. It's really supporting information that can be used to address unresolved physical manifestations in both horse and human, and the underlying root cause and what to do about it, along with allowing your horse to initiate shifts.
We did have one question. If a horse is standing near your crown and breathing over you but not touching you, is that still energy work?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. We are going to touch exactly on that. So horses will work in a number of ways, one of which is with their muzzle, yes. The other is holding meditative space, and certainly they use their breath in that. So we're actually going to come to that in an upcoming slide. Great question. Thank you for that. So now listen, we have like 20 more seconds here. So type your answer in the comments as quickly as you can. Have you noticed how your state shifts when you're in the presence of a horse? If they're intentionally working on you, or even like we just mentioned, a meditative state around you. We often see horses dozing, especially in herds. They are doing more. So are you aware of how horses are facilitating that shift? So give me, one or two answers there, and let's see how you all are feeling about that.
I love that. And I think even we both of us, as soon as you said that, we're like,
yeah.
yeah. Like even talking about it makes me feel better.
Me too, right? Yeah.
There's something magical there based in science.
Yes. Because it's
magic
real.
And science. Science can be
real.
Magical.
That's right.
100. Kristen says 100%, and I can do better. Tanya says, I love being in their presence for this reason.
Wonderful.
Absolutely experience that breath example, which creates calm. Barbara says, yes. Chrissy says, absolutely. There's hearts galore. Sarah, almost every time I have an energy shift, especially after work. Emotions that I didn't even know were there come up and are released. Totally, my heart rate drops. Yes, it's a very grounding experience.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, let's continue.
Oh, she says, click the button.
So this is exactly what we were talking about with that previous question. Horses naturally know how to work on and balance us. We know this because of their culture, because of resonance, mirror neurons, electromagnetic fields, heart math, all kinds of different scientific theories. they will typically interact in one or all of the following ways. Now, there are other ones, but these are the ones that are sort of most prevalent. So the first one we discussed, physical contact. So they might use their muzzle, their lips, sometimes their teeth, and we can facilitate that. The second one is they will align their own chakras with us. So for that question about even just breathing near crown, I would also encourage you to pay attention to, then did the horse align their crown with you? Did they put their head over you, or did they come in alignment with you? Just some things to observe. The third one is by holding meditative space. That is very powerful. And again, in one of the modules in the Equus Empowered program, we go deeply into that, and especially with the concept of entrainment and how that works and how it creates shifts in the electromagnetic field. The other thing that they will do is to work on another horse for our benefit. So if we use a client example, sometimes we'll have clients come in that are nervous or uncomfortable. They don't really maybe want to be too close to the horse, and they certainly don't want the horse maybe touching them. You will start to notice as you all open in your awareness and the horses realize that openness is there, they'll start to work on each other for the benefit of that person. They do that, again, for the benefit of their herd, their environment, their safety, plus a higher vibrational shift. So initially, some horses really need some facilitation to remember that we as human are smaller and thinner skinned. So as always, we use clear and positive boundaries that are essential, and the Equus Empowered program goes into those specifics.
Question on that too. I felt before as a facilitator when we have client groups that sometimes our horses will do stuff to us that isn't for us, but it's almost like to show them that it's okay, guys, I'm cool. Like, you know what I mean? Is that accurate as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out, especially because that horse sees you as a herd member. That's how important your relationship is with them. So if you have that type of relationship, you will be the stand-in sort of horse, the herd member for them. Sometimes they also will reach around to you and show you what they might like to do with a client. So for example, a horse that knows teeth are off limits, but really feel that would serve this person. I've many times had horses reach around to me and just show me the pressure they'd like to use, and then I will give permission if that person is open to it.
Kokanee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Kokanee.
She's powerful. Yeah. All right.
There we go.
So another little homework for you also, you're already doing this, but just go in now with a little bit more awareness and perhaps a little bit more openness. Allow your horses to work on you. Sit with your herds, observe them, allow the interactions. Be still, take your deep breaths, do your cleansing and grounding breaths. Trust your horse to do what horses do. It's such an honor to be the recipient of. Again, just a little kind of diagram of what you might see. I was just correlating. When we start to be very clear about horses working on horses, it becomes even more clear when we see horse to human interaction. So you'll see on the left here, this horse is working at specific chakras for this woman. Generally this is getting into maybe the next level, but we can start to read even the spaces in between. So throat connected to heart. So really loving communication is what's potentially happening in this left picture here. This is just an early one. If anyone wants to get a hold of me and ask questions, it's just leahdyck.com. We'll talk about that later too. Be prepared. You already, in the comments, you already have noted this, that there is often an emotional release. It is common for people who are recipients of these interactions to feel some emotion. Often tears or laughter are the most common, but there can be other ones that come up. Physical sensations, you might feel warmth or coolness, tingling or lightheaded. Be reassured that this is normal and healthy and safe. It's a sign of energy flowing and moving. Just encourage yourself or your clients to let it flow. And then we can just hold space for this process to continue. So once we've started to allow our horses to work on us within those mutual boundaries and guidance, and as we've continued to learn and practice these deeper understandings, this is where we can start to shift and facilitate these interactions with our clients. We can allow our horses to formally work during already scheduled programs and lessons, or in a standalone scheduled session. So these exchanges and increasing of self-awareness enhance every interaction. And your horses are offering them now and will continue to kind of expand the more your awareness grows. So again, yes, an EAL or other sessions, just start to notice if your horses are reaching out in this manner. This is, again, any equine connection people, you'll recognize Brandon here, who is definitely one that reaches out to people in this manner as well. So if you're interested further, there's facilitation information and resources, direct contact with me available in the Equus Empowered. That's the level 1 of the Equus Attuned pathway. So now next, is everyone good staying for another about maybe 10 minutes, or do we want to wrap it up? Give me a little feedback.
I'm going to answer for them and say they're fine.
Yeah.
I think that there's so many hearts, love, likes. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. So many people feel similarly to all of you, where they feel there's something more. So they might think, why does my horse nuzzle me here? Why is he breathing on my head? Why is he nuzzling my face? Why is he nudging my client? What's this talk regarding energy and horses? Is my horse a healer? What does that even mean? And I wish my horse could just talk. So as we go forward, anyone that is interested in some further information, I always do a connection call. It's always free. My intention is always just to be of service to you and to your horses. I'll offer resources. My goal is to find out if we're a good fit to work together, because again, connection is really important to me, and I want to be of service and make sure we're a good fit, because I'm looking to build like-minded community. It sounds like many of you are very like-minded in the way that you want to interact with horses and humans and the world at large. So these are some of the questions we would do in a connection call. And Carolyn and I have never done one. So I have some questions for her, and we'll go through and facilitate an interaction that I think she's got in mind. So, Carolyn, can you tell us about a time that you felt there was an intentional interaction from a horse, really where there was a clear feeling of there being something more, but you just weren't maybe sure what that more was?
I think the most profound would be Comet, and he would consistently nudge me in the gut, like right here.
Right. Okay. All right. So can you tell me, first of all, how did he generally approach you when he was going to do that?
He would either walk directly towards me and do it, or I would be coming up to him ready for some pets and lovey, and he would do it then.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one is sort of what we've discussed already, where they approach you head on directly, and you can feel the intention. Now, can you tell me, when he approached you in that way, did you feel the sense of intention, or did you feel at all a push from him? How was that approach?
It's interesting. This was quite a bit early, so I didn't know nearly as much about horses or anything to do with this at that point yet. So when he walked up at the place I was at in life, my genuine thought was he's coming to give me love. And I would feel like he was intentionally walking towards it. I was like, this is going to be everything I've ever needed. And then he'd knock me in the gut, which
but that's powerful. That's powerful, because you sensed an intention, but you sensed like a positive intention. You felt that there was a loving intention behind it. So there wasn't a push or a shoving you around or like, get out of my way.
No,
there was something profound in there for you. And you actually sensed it as loving, which is actually really powerful. So now you're familiar enough with the chakras, and I think you probably at this point know the meaning, but let's pretend you didn't back in the time. In your gut, what chakra is that?
Well, I guess it would have been up in the solar plexus as we talk now, right?
Yep, absolutely. So solar plexus, do you remember the main function for solar plexus?
Oh my goodness, I know creation, and then solar plexus is, now that you put me on the spot, Leah.
That's okay. I'm going to give it to you.
Good.
Sense of self.
That's the one.
Sense of self is related to solar plexus. So your self-discipline, your self-awareness, your willpower.
Wow, where you were? That's
the big one, when horses nudge you, is about standing in your own power, in your sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big one for the nudge. Does any of that resonate for you with what was going on at that time in your life?
Do you want me to just tell what was going on at that point? So that
whatever you would like to share.
So at that point, I was going through a massive life change and finding out that I was going to be getting divorced, and I had no idea what to do. And I was contemplating whether or not I was going to continue doing this as a career or not, because I didn't know how I was going to make money, finances, and all that stuff work at that period of time. So it's interesting that Comet, that was his approach, but there was also many other horses that approached in various other ways that would not be perceived as loving, but were long term. But it makes perfect sense because I felt like I had lost totally myself at that point, as well as whatever I perceived my future to be. So I was completely lost in that point in life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a huge sense of shifting of self, of identity, of life experience, of who you are, of what you're going to do. Now, it's interesting that he pushed you, like nudged you. What's your perception of why he was that intense?
I don't think I would have reacted as strongly and made the decisions that I needed to make without it being that intense. Like, I think if he had come up and been like, oh, let me rub my head on you, I would have been like, oh, you love you too, buddy. And that would have been where it ended. Whereas the little punch to the gut, like, it wasn't enough to move me backwards, but it was definitely enough that I was like, it got me to suck air a little bit. But that was what was needed to get me to thinking, like, it was literally, for lack of a better way of saying it, get your ass in gear and stand up, woman. Now's your time. So I don't think if it had been any lighter or different, I would have reacted or understood it the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so really got your attention.
Yeah.
And I love the phrase that you just used, stand up, girl. Like, stand in your own power, know who you are, make those decisions, stay with them, because that nudge is very much wanting you to like resist it, stand in that power. So you're getting that clear message of stand up. Now, we don't always encourage nudging, but it's going to happen, and there's going to be a reason for it. So if we start to delve deeper, you can really begin to trust your horses, and that's where that partnership becomes deeper and deeper, and you can trust each other so much more. There's something else you said. Sense of self. You said he would even do it kind of did you say when you were feeding them, or
anytime other than when I was working? So if we were in a program, nothing. He would never do anything to me in that. As soon as we were out of the program, all the freaking time, doop, 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 doop. Get it together, woman, get it together. Like, constant, but not while I was working.
Yeah. So very specific to you.
Very.
So there's no sort of muddy waters there. Was that for a client? But it was for you.
100%. Yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So the next thing I'd like to ask you is, if one thing could shift in your relationship with horses, in your relationship, your understanding, your communication, what would that be? If you could just snap your fingers.
Well, if they could speak to me would be ideal. But I think just continuing to understand the deeper level. And don't take it as the horsemanship side of things, always go into what does it mean, and constantly take the step back as to what does it mean, rather than don't do that or get out of my space or any of those things that we kind of tend to go to when we go to respect or whatever it may be, but to truly stop and understand.
Okay. So if they could speak to you, it would allow you to go deeper and not to the horsemanship side. If we could give that a word, what does speaking, understanding, and going straight to wanting to have that communication with them, if you could give it one word, what is it?
connection, I guess.
Clarity.
Or clarity. There's another word that you used earlier, attunement. I would say, because that is connection, but tuned in on a different level, I guess.
Yes. Okay. That attunement is a big one. Okay. So then let's go a level deeper on that.
Ooh.
How would that one thing, if you were deeply attuned, if you always went to the behavior and communication side, if you felt like you were kind of had a direct line speaking to them, how would that change your life?
My life. I think I would be more in tune with myself.
What does that bring you?
Well, I would assume a sense of peace eventually in self as well, is understanding yourself better.
Okay, peace. You came to that fast. Lots of times we kind of go around and we're not sure, but you're actually quite sure that if you were even more attuned, you would feel even more peaceful with yourself. That is very powerful.
I think peace is a big word these days.
Okay. So how would the life of your horse, so choose a horse if you like that you're most connected to, or choose them as a herd, how would their life shift if you were very in tune and you had a great sense of peace?
I think it would be easier for them to be around me, but I think maybe understanding where they're at and being able to give them the same in return. Like, I understand horses don't necessarily think, man, I want some peace, but they want safety. So by us being in a state of peace, we could provide that same level and safety for them.
Mm-hmm.
So if horses are safe, what does that do for them? How does that enhance their lives? Like, is there greater well-being, or like what comes to mind for you?
I would say a greater well-being plus less stress is a good thing for any horse health-wise as well. But when I think of, I guess go back to peace still, is that gives them a peaceful state to be in where they get to feel the ultimate of what they want, which would be safe. Does that kind of make sense?
For sure. It comes back to safety for horses. Mm-hmm. Do you sense that anything in your business or your interaction with clients would shift for the horses? Anything there?
I mean, I would think that anytime anybody gets to a next level of safety or peace, it would make a shift of everybody that they interact with to a certain extent.
Yeah. So potentially a deeper interaction and higher well-being if they feel safe and you're in a state of peace. So that's kind of amazing for all of the people that you already doing such incredible things for. It sounds like there's even still a next level for you in their well-being, and also then in their ability to partner with you in the work that you do. You have this clear sense of kind of the ripple effect. So if I'm this way, the horses can be this way, and we can ripple that out with every person we connect with.
What a wonderful life.
You. Isn't that beautiful? It's true though.
It is.
Yeah. And if we ever think we're all done and finished, then, well, that's dumb.
Yeah. Well, you're just not. So profound.
Yeah, you're just not. Right. We're never finished, right?
That's right.
Never can we know it all about horses, and never can we know it all about ourselves. We always have a deeper level.
Right. Yeah. Oh, there's so much more to learn, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
So what support then would be of service to you to facilitate that shift? Some people say a like-minded community. Some people say mentorship. Some it's finances, goals. What is of service to you?
I think the community piece is huge. Well, I'd like to download your brain into mine, but the community piece is massive to have. I mean, a lot of times what we think is probably true in a lot of ways, but having that person to bounce it off of, or to be like, what do you think about this? Or what does that look like for you? I think that's a huge part of it that makes it clearer for everyone.
Yeah. Okay. So like that like-minded or like-hearted community seems important. And then you also said something about downloading brains, but also having someone to kind of bounce ideas off of. So it sounds like mentorship or or
Yeah.
something like that could be of service
with
too.
a bit of that gives you the validating piece, because I think we second guess ourselves
Mhm.
so much. But whereas
Right.
when I tell you and you're like, absolutely, that's what it could be, I'm like, I knew it. And then I'm all proud of myself.
That's so profound what you just said. Like, I knew it. We already have the answers within
Absolutely.
us. Sometimes it just takes a little tweak from a horse or a human in order to access that, so that we can just receive and remember the things that we actually do already know. Wow, that's really powerful. Thank you, Carolyn.
Well, you're welcome. You know how I love to go deep. Leah.
Well, you did great. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. So for those of you who would like to learn more in terms of potentially creating a like-hearted or like-minded community for yourselves, or expanding it, mentorship or learning, some guidance, the Equus Empowered program, again, it's level 1, is a 9-week interactive online course. We have weekly small group meetings, some homework, theory, and we also have, we're continuing to build the community, sort of exactly what Carolyn described. There's also the Horse Culture and Energy online workshop, which is self-directed. So it's kind of like the Coles version of the full Equus Empowered program. If you'd like to chat, I would love to chat with you. You can reach me an email, info@leahdyck.com, or peruse my website at leahdyck.com. I have a contact page. If you're interested, you can book a connection call right from there. And again, there's never any expectation from me or pressure. I genuinely like to connect, and if I can offer resources, my goal is to be of service to the horses first, and then especially the humans around them. I would like to make the world better for horses, and hence the people around them benefit and also help to make the world better for horses and humans.
Love that.
Aww. That's why we love you so.
We do.
You're the real stuff.
Somebody's asking you, is there a level 2 as well? They just want all your knowledge.
Yes, I am currently, because people have asked, developing level 2 and level 3. So I've got some working titles of Equus aligned, and then that's level 2, and level 3 is sacred Equus.
Oh,
So just a little bit, if you want to take a picture of this is the table of contents, just to give you some framework of what is in there. We've already touched on, again, the tip is part of the iceberg on today's chat. If you are already certified with Equus Equine Connection, you have a built-in discount. So we can chat about that. I have other discounts. I have payment plans. If you're not yet certified and you're attending this live, I have a different one, but a unique discount just for you if you'd like to chat about that. So let me know you attended this live. Yeah, so this is the end of the Equus Empowered chat. The next slide just gives you a little thank you from me. My intention is that what you have learned, just a little bit about yourself and a little bit about horses, will continue to have a positive and empowering influence, and just act as this uplifting ripple effect out into the world. So I'm grateful that you've joined, grateful to connect with you kind of through a screen and hearing your chats and just hearing what people are here, and love to connect further if you feel so inclined.
Well, and we are so grateful
Leah.
for you. That was beautiful. Lots of comments and appreciation to you as well. And of course, our gratitude as always. And we did want to mention as well, we have, for those of you who aren't certified too, we do have a masterclass coming up that they're going to type something if they want information on that.
Yep.
Where
and
is
it's called the
number 1 secret to creating a successful horse-centered career. And we are hosting it at the end of the month here. And if you type class in the comments, you can get some more information on that. So it's really learning how you can transition this into meaningful work with horses and create a thriving career to do so as well. Even if you don't have the facility, you don't have the background yet, or a clear plan or anything, that's cool. So if you're interested in joining that masterclass, you can put class in the comments as well. And then of course, again, if you're interested in more about what we learned today, head to leahdyck.com. And we are, again, so much gratitude for you, Leah, as always. And we just love you.
And seriously, anybody who is in this industry, even if it's for your own love for horses, not even doing this as a business, you owe it not only to your horse, because it should always be about the horse, as Leah so eloquently always says. It should always be about the horse, but for your own it will bring so much powerful information and solidify so many things you've been not clear about. It's just such a beautiful thing to have, no matter where you are in your life with your horse. And your horse will beyond appreciate and love that you're going into their world with their culture, because that's what they want.
Yes. It's just fair that we do it for them.
Yeah, it really is.
They do enough for us.
But I think we should do a series with Leah next time. Leah, this should be like 3 lives in a row or something.
Yeah.
Happy to, if you would like me to. And I have to say, if anyone is thinking about taking the Equus, I keep saying Equus, because you guys say equine connection and I say equine and it throws me off every time. I'm going to say equine connection program, becoming certified in EAL. I could not recommend it more. It changed my life. I know all kinds of other facilitators that are doing incredible work out here, and there is room for more. We need more of this. And if you're at all inclined, definitely get a hold of Carrie and Carolyn. You will not find a better program.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, honey.
And that means a lot coming
It sure
from
does.
You. We love that. Right. Well, thank you so much. And again, check out Leah's website. Hit her up for all the freebies she's offering.
Seriously, I would call her up in 2.3 seconds. Get that date booked right away.
And thank you again so much, Leah. And hope everybody has a wonderful Attuned day.
Yes, I love it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Have a
Bye,
great day.
everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Leah.
Thank you.